I'm going to try to keep this relatively short. This one is why I believe Eldenring is doing so well. If you just do a search on YouTube or anything like that, popularity on Eldenring, or any combination of those sort of searches, it's like why pretty much I'm saying like Elden Ring's beating the Call of Duties, all the EA games like Battlefront, so it's beating all them hands down. I think it was GameRank's just done one I watched a little while ago, and I made some fair points. Talking about how Elden Ring compared to the Dark Souls, Demon Souls, and stuff like that. They were trying to figure out what they're gonna Souls-like. That's the term that everyone's using. So it's Souls-like. That's the word they were looking for. But I'm not bagging on them. But the fact that this is 12 million copies or something like that in the first 3 weeks. Other games in the first month, the closest one's like 8 million compared to 12. So Elden Ring is doing very well in comparison. And they're saying all these things like it's because it's not holding your hand. So that's not what I believe it is. This cave is going to be a good point to point out some of the things I'm talking about. But I believe Elden Ring's success can be put down to there's a couple of categories, but like the main one is freedom. When you first create your character, you get a choice of 8 or 10 different classes or backgrounds. We're going to call it. If you want to be a magic user, be a magic user. If you want to be a melee, be a melee. If you're going to be a range, be a range. It's like it doesn't say you can't do that. You want to choose one, you choose one. And then on top of that, if you choose, for example, like this character here was a hero, which is more of a melee build. It didn't come with a staff. It couldn't use magic. As you can see, I've got a staff in my hand. This character uses magic. So I chose a hero, but I'm not locked into melee. If I want to use magic, I can use magic. That, on top of being again, this is where definition is required in an open world. It is technically an open world. However, as I've stated in some other videos, when you first start the game, you start over here. Those 2 spots there. You can come all the way up here, follow this path around the back of the castle. You don't have to do the castle. You come all the way up here, follow this lake, dodge all your enemies. You'll get to this spot here. You can't progress any further than here unless you get 2 medallion pieces. So, yeah, it's open world, but no, it's not open world. But the fact that these 2 pieces can be found down here, ooh, okay, I know where one is. I believe one's here, if I remember correctly, down here somewhere, and the other one was, holy crap, okay, it was that long ago, I can't remember, holy crap. There's tutorials out there. Grab the two medallion pieces, come to the lift, you can go up the lift. You don't have to fight bosses, you can dodge all the enemies. It's like, if you're quick enough to get around the enemies or strong enough to kill the enemies, you can get the medallion pieces, progress to the next section. There's no like, you have to do a certain amount of percentage of the story to unlock this part of the map, or you have to buy a DLC to unlock this part of the map, or there's none of that shit, which is why everyone loves this game. Even the people like, I'm not a Dark Souls, Demon Souls, I didn't like them. I played a couple of them, like the second Dark Souls I played, and I think I gave the third one ago. I can't remember. I didn't like them. The linear dungeon crawling, nah, didn't like it. This is open world, so I can spawn in. I can get to everywhere south of the left. So this whole area here, all the way over here, all the way in. I can explore all that, and I sure as hell explored it. um, Once you get the two medallion pieces, you can go north to this section. I have not yet gotten past here. So I can't talk about stuff that's past it 'cause I don't know. I haven't played it. I don't go looking up videos to see how to, unless I get stuck. Like I had to look up a tutorial on how to get a certain War of Ash and stuff like that. Then I'll watch the video. I'm not going to go watching videos and go, this is how you beat this boss. I'm not. I didn't buy the game to fight bosses. I bought the game as an exploration open world game. And I got that. Admittedly, there are some situations which I wish to implement some extra features to make us adventurers. And at this present time with this exploit that's going on, which I'll briefly touch on in a second, I wish there's a couple of options that I'd implement that would make it better. Now, this enemy here, I can lock onto the enemy, I can shoot my mage power and attack them. I can switch to a melee weapon, let them come to me, melee them. So it's not restrictive in any way. It's the open worldness, the freedom of the game, which is what everyone's enjoying. A lot of people are saying, oh, it's the not holding your hand. I don't believe it's that. I believe it's the freedom. That is the word that perfectly sums up this game's choices, gameplay, mechanics. It's freedom. If you want to do it a certain way, there are restrictions, like some places you can only get to if you use your horse. Some places you need to use a magic spell, or like I found a tower, you need to do a certain emote to unlock the tower. I haven't got that emote, so yeah, there are certain points where you have to do a certain way. The horse doesn't jump high enough to jump over the parts that's stopping me from getting in without doing this emote, so I'm stuck in that situation. But I could either look up on the internet to find out how to get the emote and do it that way, or I can just try and figure it out myself. And most of the time I'm trying to figure it out myself. So that's what this video is about, like why I believe this game is so successful, and in my opinion, that is 100% why this game is doing so well, is the freedom. You choose your class, but the class doesn't lock you into it. You can go into the world. Like when you first start the just look up the, what was it called, the Tree Sentinel, I think it's called. The amount of videos on YouTube that are about people come out of here, go into these first steps, and there's a horse just here, big gold horse. The amount of people getting slaughtered by that horse. I didn't even fight him straight off the bat. I've come out and gone, ooh, open world. I've come running up here, gone through this town, come running up the river. And it's like, I had a ball. It's like, fighting no bosses, I'm having a great time. The second I have to fight a boss, it's like, far out. And I start losing a bit of interest. Especially when I put a video up before about the BS thing. Especially when you get got by BS stuff. It's like, it sort of makes you want to not do it anymore. But when you're exploring, it's like, that is why, if you're a Dark Souls player, you can play it for doing the Dark Souls stuff. You can do the bosses. But if you like games like Saints Row and roaming around in GTA and that sort of shit, it's like, this is an open world. Skyrim, Oblivion, open world. It's like, go and explore, choose your own adventure. It's like this game nails that. So that is why I believe it's is so successful. Now the two issues are mainly regarding in the exploit people are using right now, but also for the non-competitive players. Because I'm a non-competitive player. I don't go for PvP. I go for PvE and interactions and stuff like that. So when you go multiplayer, there's 3 slots for friends, so you and 2 friends, and there's another slot, a 4th slot for an enemy, or a raider, or a douchebag. They need to make it so that if you've got a password set, that no one else that doesn't know, so the people who don't have the same password can't raid you. That would be an easy fix. Or give us a switch, raidable on or off. I've spoken to a few friends and stuff like that. The chance of them adding a switch going raidable on or off, it's probably not going to happen. But at least implement it so that we can have it so that we're protected, because the current exploit, which I'm about to get into now, the current exploit, it's dangerous. And if we could have a PvP password, and if people don't know the PvP one, they can't get into your game. It's that simple. You can still be raided by your friends or people who know that password. If they can guess the password, they can get in, that kind of thing. That's fine. But the exploit is people have been death looped. Basically what's happening is either people are joining your game, or when you go to their game to raid them or whatever, they're using hacks on their end to spawn your character in a spot, and they put a spawn location in that spot, and it's at a death spot. So every time you spawn in, you instantly die. So you're just caught in a loop of dying. You can't get into your menus or anything quick enough to spawn a new location. They can fix it by, I don't know, if you die at the same spot twice, it's to spawn you at the very beginning, like the first step, whatever it's called. Here. Yeah, the first step. That if you die more than twice at a certain location, you spawn back there. That's a fix. Or redundant saves. That's another fix. So that if you die at the same location, you can just pause the game, or go to your menus, or whatever system they're going to use, and then when you go like continue, have an option under where the load save is. Click the load save, and then you can click the save that you're on, and you can go main save or backup save or something like that, and you can click on that and it'll run the backup save, and that could also fix it. But the fact that we have to now make sure we play in offline mode in case we get raided and the person's using the exploit and they brick our save, because some people, one of the guys I'm subscribed to, he called it deleting your save. It's more bricking your save, because your save's still there, it's just not usable. So anyone who's playing online, please be very careful. There is a way around it at the moment. If you're going to play online and you've got a friend that's online, have them raid your game using the red finger. That way your raid slot is full with your friend, and anytime you want to do a boss or something, they can just leave and you can do the boss. They can't do a great deal in your game because they can't kill enemies and all that, but at least you're safe from the soft locking, bricking your save, whatever you call it. You're safe from that because you've got a friend, somebody you can trust that's in your invasion slot. But that is the part that the developers have to fix, is the invasion slot. They need to get a switch or a password or something to prevent bad people from doing bad things. So I'm going to call it there. There's my thoughts on why the game is doing so well, and I can definitively say I believe 100% the game is doing well because of freedom. You can choose what you want to do when you want to do it. You don't have to fight that gold horse. You could probably finish the game without fighting him at all. So that is the freedom part. That is why the game is doing so well. The open world freedom is what makes this game a hot sell. It helps that there's not buy more credits, DLC available, just flash on the screen every 5 seconds. That helps, but it's the freedom. And just to let you know too, the exploit, I've got a sneaking suspicion it's PC only. But don't take my word on it, because hackers be hacking, modders be modding, and it could happen anywhere. So be careful with your... until a hotfix comes out or a patch comes out saying it's fixed the issue, try and avoid online gameplay, unless you're using a character you don't mind having that save being bricked. So... good note, bad note. There you go. I'm out of here. Stay safe, look after each other, and I will catch you all next time.